comfortably, as long as he's here, as long as he's on the other chair. Right, it's going now.
Okay.
So when you're ready.
Now, this is Norman Sunderland. The last time we met was in Gordon Square just before you retired. I came down to an AMA meeting and called in to see you, and you took me out to lunch. Now, I actually came to the grammar school. You appointed me to the staff in 1931. I was lucky in that you were a rugby enthusiast, because I think at that time rugby players were in rather shorter supply than historians. And then when you left Darlington, I was fortunate again in that I became head of history, and I suppose at that time I was probably the youngest head of department in the country. That meant that there was no need for me to leave Darlington. And when I came back after the war, after 6 years in the army, I decided I was quite content to stay in Darlington and work at the grammar school. The more so, I think, because not only was I quite very happy there, and the school was an extremely good one, but I couldn't see any other grammar school which could offer a better education for my own son. Well, he went through the school, and very successfully. He was school captain, and in his final year at school he was the 3A junior championship in the champion in the high hurdles, and when he went up to Oxford, he not only got a good degree in engineering, but he also got his blue for athletics. And so from the family point of view, I had an additional reason for being grateful for the Darlington Grammar School. Things worked out, fortunately, again in the end, because I delayed my retirement for 1 year so that I could be headmaster for a short time and try to save as much as possible of the old school and the old system during the period of transition to a sixth form college. I think we'd got a little success. At least we preserved the name, the Queen Elizabeth Sixth Form College, instead of something frightful like Vane Terrace Sixth Form College. And having written the history of the school a few years previously, I knew what records there were, and I also knew that unless someone looked after them, they'd probably disappear during the reorganisation. So I cleared all the pictures off the walls, the portraits and photographs of headmasters, school groups, school teams, and so on. I cleared out all the headmaster's office cupboards, the old registers and other old documents. And I also knew what the town clerk had in his muniment room, as well as the original charter. And when they moved into the new town hall, I rescued all the grammar school material. And I didn't bother to consult the education committee. They'd have had some stupid ideas of what to do with it. But I deposited it all with the Darlington Library, which has got a very, very good local history section, and all that stuff is preserved instead of just disappearing or being thrown away. Now, I ought to finish by a very belated expression of gratitude to you, because without ever giving me any direct advice or instruction, you taught me the difference between being a schoolmaster and a mere teacher. And I think that made a tremendous difference to my enjoyment of the profession for the rest of my life. It's obviously done by example, and I'm always amused by one memory, which, like you've probably forgotten all about it, but it meant quite a lot to me at the time. Fisher, Richardson and myself, one filthy November day when it was pouring with rain, were in the pavilion congratulating ourselves that the practice match would obviously be cancelled, and you came in and said that if a man of your age could referee a match, it'd do no harm for youngsters of our age to get on and play it. Well, as I say, it's a long time since we met. I've been delighted to hear your voice again on the record, and I hope I shall hear one again in the near future. Goodbye.